right, here we go. So I'm sharing my screen with you now, and you can see that I am on our class page. And I wanted to start there because it looks like you only have two things there, graphic organizer and assessment links. And that's because I haven't finished uploading the sample project, the final thing that you're going to submit, to let me know that you've done all the work that I have posted. But it's really simple. This week you're going to take 4 assessments, and they are right here on the assessment links and instructions. And let me scroll down a little bit so you can see everything. So you are going to be taking 4 assessments. An interest assessment on the Pennsylvania Career Zone website, which, by the way, I need to add that I've sent you all invitations in the mail to join the class in PA Career Zone. Once you join, I will be able to access and pull reports for you on whatever assessments you take in there and whatever work you do in there. We are going to be doing budgeting. We're going to be doing research on careers, research on colleges. So we're going to be using this website more than any of the others. The other 3 are strictly one-time assessments for you to take to learn about yourself. So the PA Career Zone is for the interest assessment. Underneath that is a strengths assessment, which is called Wingfinder, and it's by Red Bull. How many of you drink Red Bull? I'm sure you've at least had Red Bull in your life at one point or another. No? I drank it once, and it was too sweet. I didn't care for it. But some people love it. But anyway, no, I always thought it was. It was like an enhanced caffeine drink, like not good for you. But it turns out it's all like B vitamins, and so it's actually not bad for you. But it does have a lot of sugar. So in that sense, it is. But anyway, Red Bull gives you wings, right? That's the commercial. They came up with this really sweet assessment to help you figure out what your strengths are so they can help you choose a career or a lifestyle that you want to live. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think you'll like it. And then, of course, the what's your learning style. It's only 20 questions that you should be able to finish pretty quickly. We'll go through each one. I'll click on each one and open a tab so that you can see the page and what I need you to do. I've also created instructions for you as well. And then the last one here, the last assessment is the personality test by Myers and Briggs. Okay, that's on Truity.com. All of them, with the exception of this learning style quiz, you are going to create profiles for yourself so that you have a login, a username and a password, so you can access your results at any time you need to. And because you are going to need to access them to create the final project that I want from you by the end of next week or at some point. And also, you're going to use that information to guide your choices as you start looking at colleges and start thinking about careers, okay? And then I've also put the instructions in here. So that's why I said it looks like you don't have much work to do next week, but that's because it's all buried in one little assignment. So you'll have to go back to this assignment a couple times in order to finish all of your results. So this is just an instruction sheet. I'll open that right now so you can see it. I've pretty much laid out everything for you to the best of my ability, but I'm also going to try and walk you through each one really quickly today so you get an idea of what it looks like and what you're up against. The first one is PA Career Zone. Some of you are familiar with that. Some of you won't be, but it's pretty user-friendly. It's user-friendly. The next one is Ed Planner. What's your learning style? That one couldn't get any easier. As soon as you log in, as soon as you click on the link and log in, it takes you to the very first question, and boom, you just start. You click on the red apple to continue to the next page. There's only 20 questions. It's probably the easiest assessment you'll take. But it's just as important as any of the other ones. The next one is the Red Bull Wing Finder Strengths Assessment, which is kind of a cool assessment. I just discovered this year and took the assessment myself, and it was really neat. And the report that came with it was pretty cool too. So that'll be fun. And then the last one is the Truity Personality Assessment. Some of you are familiar with this one. You probably took it in Beyond CBCS if you had it last year. It's a little tedious. There's 6 pages of questions, and there's like anywhere from 21 to 23 questions on each page. So just don't get frustrated. But I think if you create your account first, it'll save, like if you get tired midway through and don't want to finish it, you have an account. You'll have created an account, so you can go back to it. But I don't know. 30 minutes doesn't seem that long. I would just motor through it and get it done. I actually had to redo it this year because I didn't create an account last year. So I created an account this year and just went through it last night and saved my results. So that was one. I noticed that kids, by not creating an account, it was so hard because kids just looked through the results and wrote down like a couple things. They never actually went back to dig a little deeper into it and to get all of the results. And by not creating an account, you would have to do the test all over again. And we don't want you to do that. So create that account, then take the test for all of these. And then you'll have full access to everything that you learn about yourself forever, essentially. Okay, so that's the instructions. We're going to go through each one of them today. So you'll have a visual aid, and then you also have the instructions on paper that you can go to if you're not with me when you're taking it. So let's start out with PA Career Zone. I'll click on that link and we'll go to that page. I'm not going to sign in because I want to show you it from a student's perspective. If I sign in, it will show you my teacher page, and you don't need that. That's too much information. So the first thing you want to do is click on this blue area over here. You can see my cursor, things move when my cursor goes over it. Discover possibilities. That's where you want to start. And then it'll take you to this page. And you'll see there's a bunch of different things you can do here. Later on, we will have a brief lesson on budgeting your life because I think that's important. I know that a lot of you, if not all of you, are engaged in that after-school program with Mr. LaSalle, who is talking about financial literacy for after school. So it's super, super important. I wish I had had that when I was in high school because no one teaches you that stuff. And you're just thrown into it. You start getting a paycheck and there's all these things coming out of it that you don't know where they go to, taxes and things like that. So knowing how much money you have and how much is available, how much of that money is actually available to you, and budgeting your life is important, but that's not what we're doing this week. This week we are doing the interest profile, which is right across from budgeting. And you are going to discover what your interests are. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Anthony, do you remember this from last year? So once you click on the interest profile, you're going to see this page, and you're just going to hit go right here where it says start a new interest profile. And you're going to choose the 60-question short assessment. I don't want you to do the mini one because, you know, we don't have a limited time here. Your time is unlimited. You can do it whenever you want. And this will give us a more accurate view of what your interests are. Of course, there's an old 180 question, which was unbearable. So if you want to really struggle, you can click on that one. But I think the 60 question will do it, okay? So then click on that, and it'll take you to instructions. please make sure that you read through all of the instructions. There's about 2 or 3 pages of instructions. I want to make sure that you read them all so you know exactly what you're doing when you're answering the questions. Okay. If you have any questions about this, you can text me, you can stream me on the classroom, you can email me, you can call me, you can come in and check in with me live. Whatever is easiest for you, but I'm here for you for any of these if you get stuck. So that's the interest profiler, okay? Before you get started, though, what I want you to do is create, Anthony, in fact, can you do this for me? Can you, I sent you a request in your email to join the class, and I just want to make sure that they work. Or, no, try this. Some of you I had to invite in your Gmail, your school Gmail, because for some reason the spreadsheet that I uploaded for you guys as users, it wouldn't accept all of you, and I don't know why. But Anthony, I think you're one of the ones who can just go to PA Career Zone and sign in with your school username and password. No, I don't think that's it. Is it? Are you in the Google? No, that's on the classroom. So go to the PA Career Zone, click on the PA Career Zone website and go there, and then sign in using your CB email and password, because that's how I created these accounts for you. I want you to use your CB email and your CB password to log in for all of these websites. ACOLS at CB Community Schools.org. And you know what your password is? Okay. So Anthony's logging in right now. For the ones who I submitted via I uploaded into PA Career Zone using a spreadsheet, you should be able to just sign in using your school email, and it'll take you right to where you need to be. Actually, I'm going to try and sign in as one of you right now and see if it works while Anthony's doing it too. I am going to sign in as Dawn Holloway, I think. Hi, Dawn. If you happen to look at this later on, you'll get to see your account. All right, and then click save. Save your password, then you'll know. I'm not going to save it because I don't need to save Dawn's information on my laptop, but you can save it for yours. So now Dawn, as you can see, is logged in here. What are you doing? Is it working for you? Are you signing in? You're not creating an account. All right, let me try to sign in as Anthony and see if it works. Since he's here with me, I'll try and. Hey, whoopsie. That's not what I wanted. Stop. Let me try. Oops. Got to make sure that you got your at CB Community Schools with an S.org. Let me see. It's not letting me. Something is not right. Anthony, you're correct. Okay, well, let's go through all of the assessments today, and then I will go through and check and make sure. So don't worry about it right now, but after we're done recording, I will get with you and figure out what the problem is, okay? All right, so we know PA Career Zone. Let's go back to the classroom, and we'll take a look at the learning styles one. This, again, will be the easiest one that you probably do. It is 20 questions long, and it's 3 answers, 1 question per page. You click on one, and your apple appears. You can see it on this corner over here. Then you click Next, and you go all the way to the end. And I'm just going to go all the way through so I can show you how to save this, because this is the only one where you will not create an account, and it will not save your results. So I'm just going to randomly click on stuff so I can get through this quickly. Because I want to show you how to actually save it at the end, so that you have at least the document at the end available to you whenever you need it. And you can print it if you want. Or you can just save it to your desktop or your documents. Random, just pick and go. We're almost there, 17 out of 20. I would highly recommend reading the questions and the answers when you do it. I've done this test a couple times, so I'm just randomly doing this to help you get through this and show you how to save it. Okay, so there we go. There's your results at the end. Now what you want to do is save it. So you're going to click on printer friendly version, and you're going to put your name in here and hit yes, add my name. And then this other box is going to appear. And you can either print it if you have access to a printer, or you can right click on it and choose save as. What's my learning style? And then put it wherever you want. You can do desktop if you don't have a folder for Pathways on your computer. You can just save it to your desktop, or you can always create one, right? You can go to your desktop and create a folder for Pathways. And then click on that and save it in there. And that way, anything that you need to save for this class can get saved in that folder, and you'll always have it. And it'll be sitting on your desktop when you first open up your computer every day, okay? So that's how you do that. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. And this has all the information on it that you're going to need to understand what type of learning style you are. In this case, because I was randomly selecting, it tells me I'm a tactile learner, which means you like to touch things and feel and do. So that's your learning style one. That's the quickest one you're going to take. The rest of them are a little longer. Next up, let's go to the strengths assessment. This is a really cool website, and I think it's pretty fun. When I click on this, it's going to take me automatically to my screen. So what I'm going to try and do is back up. See, it automatically takes you to my results. But this is what your report is going to look like at the end, which is pretty cool. And you can click on each one. These are the 4 areas of strengths: creativity, thinking, drive, and connections. What's drive? You know what drive is? Absolutely, absolutely. It's your motivation, Anthony said, in case you didn't hear him. Connections has to do with people. Thinking is the way you process things in your mind. And creativity, you know what creativity is. You know, are you open-minded and forward-thinking, or are you logical and, just do things the way they were always done? So this is my report. We'll get to that later, but I'm going to go up here and I'm going to back it up to go to just the, all right, Angela, you can do it. Move out of the way. Beep. Back it up. There. Oh, it let me last night, but it's not letting me today. Let me see if I can log out. All right, there we go. So this is the screen you're going to see. When you go into wingfinder.com, this is what's going to pop up for you. You're going to have this give wings to your career. And you're going to click on this red box, Start Wingfinder. And it's going to ask you to register or log in. You are going to register. Okay? You're going to put your first and last name in here. You're going to use your school email here. And then your school password here. Oopsie. Why did it disappear? Come back. Then you're going to click on I agree, and you're going to hit register. And then it's going to take you into your assessment. Okay? You can read a little bit about it before you get started if you'd like. You can learn a little bit about each one of these areas and then get started. This one will take you a little bit. It might take you 30 to 40 minutes, but it's kind of a fun one. It's not just reading words and deciding if you like it or not. It's kind of asking you to do tactile things and put things in certain places and watch videos and look at pictures, and so it's a little bit more interactive and visual that way. So have fun with this one. I really, really, really like the report that comes from it. And let me show you what my report looks like. So here's my 4 areas. I'm going to click on creativity first. And it tells me I am open to experiences, I am innovative, and I am adaptable. And you can click on each one of these to find out more information. So you can see that I'm not wishy-washy in the middle. I'm all the way over here, open to new experiences. I'm flexible. I enjoy daydreaming. I'm open-minded. I'm comfortable with change. All of those things really, I think they're spot on, personally. So I think this is a fun way for you to like recognize some things that you already knew, but then learn some new things about yourself too. The next one is innovative. And again, on this side, I'm all the way to the right. I'm not anywhere in the middle. I love new ideas. I love to learn. I love to think about the possibilities of things. So I think this fits me perfectly. You'll notice that every time you open one up, the other 2 are there. And then when you open another one, that one closes back up and appears on the left. So you get to go through each one of them and learn a little bit more about yourself. I'm adaptable to change. I'm willing to try something new. I'm flexible. And then I want to go to my next one, which is thinking. So that's my creativity results. And these are my thinking results. There's only one, but it has a lot of information. And look at that. I'm right in the middle of being intuitive and agile, which means I'm a balanced learner. So I'm curious. I'm really curious to see what your reports say. As far as drive goes, again, there's 3 of them. I'm modest, slightly more achiever. So look at this one. I scored somewhere in the middle, but I just lean a little bit more to the right. So I'm kind of neutral. Some days I can be super patient and just sit back and let things happen, and other days I'm like going after it. It just depends on what I'm doing, if I'm really into it, if I like it or not. So I think this is totally spot on for me. And then the last one is connections. So your report is going to look like this, and if you print it out, it prints out all this information in a really neat little format for you. I have a copy of it here. This is my report, and it puts each one in its own little box. So you can print it if you want to, or you can just have access to it on the computer so you can refer to it every time, okay? So that's the Wing Finder, and then last but certainly not least, we're going to go to the personality test for Myers-Briggs. Again, you're going to go up here in the corner, and you're going to create a new account, and you're going to use what for your new account, Anthony? What are you going to create a new account with? What's your username and password going to be? Absolutely. Your school Gmail, and password. Okay. Once you create the account, so you can do the test, it's right below, without creating the account. It just takes you right to the first test page. And this is what it looks like. You ask, there's a statement. I try not to draw attention to myself, and then you choose whether you're inaccurate, slightly inaccurate, somewhat neutral, or if it's completely, I try not to draw attention to myself. It's 100% accurate. Somewhere along those lines. It's that simple. You just choose. Boom. I feel uncomfortable when I disagree with someone. Sometimes. So then you would choose neutral, right? And there's 21 questions. You can see at the bottom it tells you there's page 1 has 21 questions. It'll move you right on to the next page as soon as you answer this last one. You go down here, next page, boom. 21, 21, 21, 21. The last one has 23. But the beauty of creating an account means that your results will save. So I'll show you what mine look like when I log in. And well, don't make me chase this over again. Oh, there we go, my test results. You'll see this screen up here. You can go to your account. You don't want to buy tests. Please don't buy tests. Free ones are the best. But you can go to my test results. And it's all laid out here for you. View your results. And there it is. Everything about me and my personality. Whether I'm an introvert or an extrovert, I am clearly extroverted because I am 61% extroverted and 39 sometimes, but not often, introverted, which means I keep to myself. I'm more of a people person, so I'm extroverted. This top one here, these are my top 3 matches. These are my top 2, ENFJ. And look at that. My very top match is the teacher, and I just happen to be a teacher, so isn't that amazing? My results pretty much match who I am. And each one of these letters stand for something in the report, so as you go down, the E stands for extroverted, the N for some reason stands for intuitive, F stands for feeling, and J stands for judger. So that's when you go down your report, those are the 4 letters that you're going to see the results for. Starts with an overall look at your core values, and then it gets into the nitty-gritty. So this is where my E comes from. My E is extroverted, and it tells me everything I need to know about what makes me extroverted and what makes me unique in that way. And then we go down to sensing and intuition, and that's where my N comes in. So I am 55% intuition. They're a little closer in range, and you might see that too, where you're a little bit of both. But it tells you up here how that plays out and what that means. The next one is thinking versus feeling, and I definitely do things based on how I feel more often than stopping to analyze and think about them. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but you can see that's a big gap for me. I'm 66% feeling, so that's where the F comes in my ENFJ. And the last one is the J, which is judging, perceiving or judging. And again, kind of a split here, 55-45. But I do think I lean more towards the judging. And judging doesn't mean like when you look at someone, you judge them by whatever they're wearing or how they wear their hair or what color their skin is. That's not what this means. This is how you perceive things in the world and how you like to organize things in your life. So for me, I do like to keep things organized. I like to keep my decks organized. I like to keep my files organized. It helps me feel in control of what I'm doing. And some people are just like flying by the seat of their pants and like to be spontaneous. That's perceivers. So it's not what you think it is when you first hear it. So that's my report. You will have a report that looks very similar to this. So those are 4 assessments that you're going to take this week. Feel free to spread them out. We don't have school on Monday, but you can take one on Monday, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, one, however you want to do it. On Wednesday, I am going to teach you virtually online how to create your final project, putting all of these test results together. Okay? So I'm going to show you my project that I created, and it's called Ms. B's Assessment Results Sample Project. You are going to do something very similar to this, but using your own creativity. This is a visual way for you to display your results, and I'm sorry my teacher picture is not showing up here, and I'm not sure why. I might have to create a new one. But anyway, here's my results for my PA Career Zone interest assessment. Here's my learning styles inventory, and I talk a little bit about what the results mean. Here's my Wayfinders, Wingfinders strengths assessment, and I break it down by the 4 categories that I showed you: the creativity, the thinking, the drive, and the connections. And of course, there's a picture there. And then here's my results of my personality assessment. I took a little snippet of this so you could kind of see what it looks like. And then I just explained a little bit about each one and how it relates to me based on the results that I saw in my report. And then over here, I created a summary and I put all of them together and I showed the connection. For instance, my first sentence is, overall, I see many connections between my assessments. For instance, my personality assessment and strengths assessment both mention my empathetic nature and the fact that I enjoy being around people. And you can see that. In my personality assessment, it says I'm extroverted. I like interacting with people. In my interest assessment, it says I'm social, which means I like to interact with people and be of service to others. And the same thing happens in my strengths. It also pointed out in my connection section that I'm sociable. So really, I want you to see the connections between all the assessments and how they overlap and why they are important for you when you're creating a plan for what you're going to do after high school. What do you think when you're thinking about your future? Do you think it's better to have a job Do you think it's better to have a job? Hi, Chrissy. Do you think it's better to have a job where you make a lot of money, or a job where you're going to be happy, where you're going to love what you're doing?
Yo, Miss B. I can't
Uh,
hear her now.
okay, hold on, Chrissy.
Hold up. Anthony. Yo, hold on.
Chrissy, can you hear me now?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I was drawing. I was just trying to find you. That's all.
So Anthony is here with me. I had my microphone on mute because I didn't want a lot of feedback happening between Anthony and I. So I'm glad you joined us, but we're almost done going through the recording for the class. I just went through everything that you guys are going to do next week. So if you just want to hang out for like a minute while we finish,
No. Wait, no.
and then
All
I'll
right.
go over everything with you.
Oh, my God.
Just
I'm
hold
talking
on.
about last week's stuff, but all right.
Oh, that's fine. So let me finish recording, and then we'll talk. Okay. All right. So, what do you think? And Christy, you can answer this question too. Would you rather have a job where you're making a lot of money and you're not necessarily happy, or a job where you're making enough money, but you love going to work every day?
Do we respond with words or do we
Yeah,
respond in the chat?
go ahead, respond. What do you think?
Oh, I would rather be inside a job making a lot of money and don't give a darn what people got to say. Like they're not gonna listen. If I don't like the job and it get real bad, then I might leave and I might go to a different job. But
Okay.
if I'm making a lot of money and I'm providing for my family and I'm not leaving that job until I get where I want to be. That's all.
Okay.
A job is not always what you're gonna like. You didn't come there to make friends. You came here to work and leave. That's all.
Okay. That's a good point. What about you, Anthony? What do you think? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So Anthony said the complete opposite of you, Christy, and I just I happen to agree with Anthony, but I understand where you're coming from, and probably a good majority of people feel that way. Like as long as I'm making money and I'm providing for my family, I'm good to go. But there comes a time in your life, and this happens more often than not, and studies have been done that show people who choose careers that they love make it easier for them to get up in the morning and want to go to that job as opposed to people who are just in it for the money. Because the money doesn't give you a feeling of satisfaction, it only satisfies these external things that you need to do as a grown up. It doesn't solve anything for you internally, as far as whether I'm doing good for society or I'm doing good for myself, or it feels good to do it because I'm really good at it. So the idea is that you put all this information together, which is why I'm showing you this sample report. Because if you look at all of your results this way, you'll see that there's lots of interconnection. And knowing that about yourself, knowing what your strengths are, knowing what your interests are, knowing how you learn best will help you to find a job that makes you happy and gets you everything you need, and it might even include the money that you need to provide for your family. So that's why we're doing all this, okay? Let's go back to the classroom real quick. I have not posted the sample project yet, but I'm in the process of doing that, and I'm also in the process of uploading the assignment for you to create the project that I just showed you. This is my project. It's on a website called Padlet, P-A-D-L-E-T, and it's really, really easy to use. When you have no boxes here or some boxes here and you want to add a box, there's a little thing in the corner, this pink thing in the corner with a plus mark. You can click on that to add a new box, and once you have a box, you can click on these three dots and you can change the background. You can add things to it, edit it. So if I want to go in and change something and add text or change my picture, which I'm going to have to do because for some reason my picture's not showing up, I can do that. And then once I click out of it, boom, it's there. You can also delete the whole thing and start over again if you want. And as you add more boxes, you can drag them and move them around the page to get them to where you like them. This is a visual way to present material instead of just typing all this in a Word document. But for those of you who like to do that, I have a graphic organizer here that you also have access to, where you can just use this maybe as a guide to just start typing all your results in here for every time you take an assessment. And then you have this all in one place to access when you go to create your visual project. We will be using this later on too to create a visual resume. So you're going to create a traditional resume, you're going to create a Padlet resume, a visual resume, and then you're also going to create a resume in the future in LinkedIn. So that's for the future though, this is for now. So that's all I have. That's everything that you're going to do next week. You're going to click on this and start here. Remember, that's where all the links are for all the assessments that you have to take. And then here's the instructions in case you don't get to watch this video, or you're the type of person who likes to read things. You can use this document for that as well. Okay, I'm going to stop recording now. If you have questions, you know how to get a hold of me, and then we can just spend the rest of the time talking about anything that you need. Have a great day, everybody.